Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some Boros aggro. It's called Boros, but really it's a mono white deck that splashes red to basically play. I think this is Daru. Is that how it's pronounced? I'm not really sure. Daru and Hazaret. The main thing, the purpose for playing this is to play a lot of legendary creatures and then use this like you formerly got to use Winota. Also, Winota 10 times better than this in my opinion, but look at the top 6 cards. Exile a single legendary creature from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Until end of turn, you may cast the exile card without paying its mana cost. The main hit that you'd want to hit off this, of course, is a Tully. Other than that, you can hit a lot of value hits in terms of like the Squee, the Morel, the Adeline. Sometimes Dahlia, worst case scenario, you hit a Skrelv. Well, I guess worst case scenario is you whiff, but other than that, we're just going to get into the games, see how they go, turn them sideways, maybe not turn them sideways, get board wiped a couple of times, and try to figure it out from there. So I hope you enjoy the games, and let's just get into them. All right, I can go first. And we have a decently strong hand here, so we'll keep. We have a Skrelv to protect Guardian, and if they double stack it, we can just put the card to Guardian later. So we'll start off with Skrelv. Our opponent's up 2. White, black land kind of screams us that they're playing Wards off. Kind of made them think that we're playing Legends. Guardian can protect itself, so I'm going to attack with the Skrelv this turn, I believe. I feel like Brutal Cathar is going to be a dead card in the hand, so we will play it down. Brutal Cathar cannot protect itself, so we will attack with Guardian. I would also like to play the Brutal Cathar just in case I get to enlist a Guardian. I don't want to enlist with the Skrelv because then my Skrelv will be tapped. So if I can avoid that at any cost, I will. Probably a pretty bad draw, so we're pretty okay with getting rid of it. Find a Squee. So I'll play Squee here. We have 2 legendary creatures, so Nganjo is 1 mana. Let's play it out though. We'll move to combat. I will enlist this. Do I attack with Squee or not? Sure, why not? I will enlist here. I'll bottom both. Although, weirdly enough, the mountain might not have been an awful take. Do I want to protect the Squee? No. I'll just let it go. Hanging with Squee is probably a little loose. Aware. I could have protected it, but and then not being too worth. It attacked me though. I assumed the Graveyard Trespasser was just going to stay back on blocking duty forever. One of the reasons I decided that I would just attack out. However, we don't find that here. We'll attack and then we'll enlist. We'll just enlist the Goblin because it's going to do the same amount of damage here. But I get to scry 2 instead. Hazaret. I have no land for Hazaret. Do we find ourselves in a position that we have to bottom it? I think so. If we'd have kept that land from earlier, we'd be better. We'd be in quite a better spot. Maybe not a tremendously better spot. We'll be playing the Stallion here. They missed the land drop, so any taxing that we can do will be better off for us. Go for the throat there. Well, you know, I like wasting their turn. Protect me from black. And we see a pick 'em up. Okay. Go first. And this looks about like what a lot of our hands will be looking like. Kind of. The problem is we're missing the 3rd land and we go first. So we have not a great chance to hit. Our hand's like fine though. Yeah, it's a little tough to turn this away, so I think I'm going to go ahead and try to keep it. Just hope to run into the lands. Lead on the sundown, because the inner's tapped. Unless we find another land, of course. I'm on a red, we're going to feel really good about having this Thalia. And it sticks. Oh, what a really nice find for us. We do pick up the land. We get to play down and add a line and attack and put in a lot of pressure here. Nice part about being on the play whenever you have a Thalia led into an Adeline. You see a Mishra's Foundry, so it's still seeming like mono red, but it does seem a little bit different. The thing that comes to mind is like Koth. We'll see here, I guess. Or straight up artifacts. I don't know what that does. Please let me read. Whenever or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a charge counter on Dragon Spark Reactor. Or it deals damage equal to the number of charge counters on it to a player, or that much to up to one target. Okay. Well, I plan on playing out this Guardian, so I want to do that now because it'll grow my Adeline. Oh, that all gets through. Thalia is putting in a ton of work. It's making a lot of their stuff be awkward. For example, like the Dragon Spark Reactor that they would normally have got to play there, but it cost them 3 because our Thalia. Those would end. Well, we will discard a card to give this indestructible. We'll lose our Thalia. We're far away from the Hazoret, so we'll let it go. We'll keep around our Adeline and our Guardian. Play down our Thalia. Tax them again. And get them for 6, 7. And they're now at 1. Turn down the house will not be enough. Another Brotherhood's in will also not be enough. Obnix, okay. Obnix not going to get it done either. You can make a devil, but the board's too wide, so we're just going to to combat and attack. Block. Stick around. And the first strike gets him with the Thalia. Interesting deck that our opponent was playing, but the Thalia taxing him off of their game plan pretty much. Opponent goes first. And our hand's pretty solid. I actually like this hand. A couple of 2-drops. Of course we'd like a 1-drop, but well, I ask and I will receive, I suppose. We'll lead off with a Skrelv. Not a human, so we're going to lead with a Thalia second. Especially them revealing that they're blue-red. We have no reason not to try to slam a Thalia. Might find and make disappear. Impulse instead. This might be Just Guy. I'm going to roll that out. Could be the Ojutai deck, but Thalia is going to put in some work here. No attack from us on our Skrelv because we needed to protect this Thalia. And making all their spells cost more is going to be significantly better for us, of course. Seeming like they weren't really able to push in an attack there. I'm going to feel bad, but I'm pretty sure we're running into a Brotherhood end at some point here. Let's play the Vanguard. They might make disappear this. They would also let it go for a little less damage, of course. Guardian. It hits. I'm gonna feel really bad, but there's a high chance we get hit with the Brotherhood end. Blast Zone's also good. Blast Zone on 2 will also answer this. Here's the Brotherhood end. We'll fake that this works. That does nothing. Another Hazoret. Not really what we want to find, but what we did find. Thalia. Headphones just die. It did. Okay. Well, headphones. It was nice knowing you. We'll move on from that from now on. Land. We could play one of these, and I'm fine to do so, just on the fact that if it gets countered, we have another one sitting here in the pocket, so it'll be okay. I have to move my cables now. My headphones stuff. I have a fire on my Thalia. And now they might also be able to get this Azurite as well if they make this appear. No, they put a counter on Blackstone. Sure. We'll be able to attack next turn. If we find a land off the top, we can play this one even if they remove this one. It looks like it's the case. We can roll them off a Jeskai at this point, I think. I've seen too many basic islands and mountains for them to be Jeskai anymore. Be wrong on that. This is a decent follow-up play, though. Put Barukathar on the stack. Actually, I wanted to play Thalia first. That's a mistake. I want to play Thalia first because if this one land is a burnt... down the house. If it is a play with fire, playing Thalia doesn't allow them to ever activate it. Arcane Bombardment. That's not great. Well, let's put it in the Hazoret. We'll go to combat. We'll attack. We'll exile nothing. We miss. Play on our lands. Another burn down the house. Horrible for us. You need about any spell at all. I guess best case scenario is they hit the impulse. Play with fire. What do you hit? Brotherhood end. If they would have played with fire the Hazoret, they would have actually been able to kill it. And I had to pay an extra mana. Even though Arcane Bombardment cast it for free. Well, we lose Hazoret anyway. So it's top deck or nothing. Brother Battlefield Forge. I don't think there's a world in which we come out of it with our Brotherhood in the graveyard, so we're just going to move on, I think. Yeah, we're definitely moving on now. That's the worst part about playing Arcane Bombardment. As soon as you get it online, you get to do anything cool with it. Like, you're generally blowing out your opponent, so you don't ever actually get to do anything cool with it. I get to go first this time around. I have a 2-drop and a 3-drop. Hazoret on the back end. Sure, we'll keep this. Play Sundown Pass first. Ourselves in a spot that we need to do that. Sundown Pass. Humans or soldiers. We find another land, which is pretty good pickup for us. Play our Guardian down. Guardian's really good in this spot because it can block and give itself indestructible, so it's a really hard attack. But I think you take that all day if I'm discarding a card. Just off cut, so be it. They attack. Do I even actually care? I'm not sure if I care. What do I discard? I think discarding is actually bad in this spot. I'll let it go. You can hit me for 3. But it's mono white humans, so the only thing we have to worry about is a Brutal Cathar. I think. That's the case. Play an Adeline, and then next turn play land, play Brutal Cathar, and a Chaplain if they deal with my Adeline. Attack. I don't know if they'll want to trade. I think they'll just pick up the 1/1. Oh. We get 2 damage. Nice. And we have an Adeline back that can block anything here. Brutal Cathar. Yep. Here's what we thought we'd see. Why we didn't play ours, because it doesn't do anything if they eat our creature. Now it's, do you take Adeline? Yep. Yep. Ward 1, so I guess I have to pay the ward. Maybe I should have held this back. That was my thought process, that they would have a Brutal Cathar to begin with. A little bit of a mistake by me, I suppose. We'll play Brutal Cathar. We'll pay the 1 here. Yes. All, and I will pay. But actually not attack. This might be the spot where I actually discard my Chaplain, the Guardian, and block something if they attack. My Hazoret can actually attack. Play an Adeline of their own. Yeah. Initiate. I could see them holding back here. No. Okay. Maybe. I'm gonna say that seems a little loose. Let us Let's discard a chaplain. We can play it later, so we're fine to do this. Another land, which is fine. Now we can keep Sokazan in our hand to play more creatures if needed. Here's Hazaret. Trades here only benefit me. Plus, if they trade off my Adeline after blocks, like if I Hazaret hits another one, I'm feeling good about it. I like this. My 1-1. We hit another Adeline, so now they have a decision to make. We let it all swing through, and our creatures have vigilance, so we feel pretty fine about that. I can just let the Adeline go. There's no reason to play it here. I would play it, however, if it was nighttime, to allow my Brutal Cathar to flip back. So we cast one spell being Drew. They activate their recruitment officer, which is a good sign for us. They find card I've not seen in a while. And Gold Sentinel. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to one target creature card from your graveyard. How many legendaries do you have? You have one. So Nganjo's turned off. We'll go to blocks. Block here. I feel like my attack's much more threatening. So yeah, I'll block there. Just making sure the math adds up, but they pick them up and move on. So that'll be it. Okay, the post-game wrap-up. We did some stuff today. We never got to play Atali, which is going to happen a lot in this game. The chances of playing out in Atali is really low. So it's kind of like in the deck to catch back up in the matchups that we need it, but today it just wasn't able to be there. I didn't do it today, and I wanted to, but I wanted to play an extra copy of this and maybe the 4th copy of this and just cut Atali in general and just play my lower to the ground tasty legendary deck. Other than that, Chaplain is pretty good. It has really good value with the Guardian, being able to discard it and play it for its disturb cost. Liliana has gone up in popularity, which we saw today as well. So you're able to discard this as well and then play it from the graveyard. So they don't get a whole lot of value from their Liliana taking down. Skrelv, obviously really good. Legendary, it plays really well with creature strategies, especially the ones that are playing spot removal. Coppercoat, I don't actually know if we played Coppercoat. I think we played it one time, but Coppercoat, as we know, has been a really, really good addition to any human soldier deck or like decks like this, even though it's not maybe the best of all time in this deck because you have like a weirder curve out than it is in the lower to the ground human deck, but it's still really good because all these are humans. So it does find a lot of value there. Guardian being one of the better cards in our deck, we can block and discard if we need to, and this will get indestructible. It's hard to remove. We got through a Brotherhood End with this and Adeline because we were able to give this indestructible, so the Brotherhood End didn't actually kill it. Thalia proving to be a super all-star as it can be, especially on the play, taxing our opponent to where they can't really do what they want to do. Adeline being really good. Is always a solid 3-drop. That's also why it's played in Pioneer because it's so strong. The hard part sometimes is the 2 white in creature-based decks. If you go 3, this obviously gets a little bit harder to cast. But for whatever reason, we have a lot of lands like Plaza that we can actually play currently in Standard, so it doesn't actually get that bad of a tax on it. Brutal Cathar, just an all-arounder. Pretty much, it answers anything we need. We picked up a Brutal Cathar that our opponent played to get our creature back. But it can be a little bit of a handful to play this card because relying on it is not stressful is not the word, but it's very fragile, I guess I'll say, because play with fire, any like board wipe pretty much is being played right now always picks this up and then they actually get their stuff back and then you like feel less vulnerable. They can do combat tricks against you if you're playing Brutal Cathar, so definitely be careful of that. It's really good in the spots that it's good in, but sometimes it will. Don't play around your own card. It'll get you. Other than that, is the deck good? I mean, right now in ranked, we're in gold. It's the start of the season, so it's a little hard to say. It does have a decently good win rate. I think it was at 54% when I stumbled upon it. I had a really bad time the last time I played this deck because I just kept getting awkward hands in terms of like having too many of these or like drawing the Italis whenever I'm just like sitting with 3 lands in play. So sometimes you'll find some dead draws, and that's kind of the hard part. We have 24 lands this time around, where I think along the video I said we had 20 or 22. I believe that's what it was last time I played this deck. But we get the land count upped, flooded 1 game, which happens. Other than that, it felt pretty good today. It's really good at just like being aggressive and can refill the board in a really strong way. Whereas like sometimes creature decks get board wiped, they don't recover as well. So I hope you all enjoyed the video today. I'll be back at some point. I don't know.